Hi, I'm Dr. Donald Boomgaarden, President of St. Joseph's College, and I'd like to welcome you to St. Joseph's College, Living Our Mission. Built on tradition and founded by the Sisters of St. Joseph more than 100 years ago, we are a mission-driven institution that provides a strong academic and value-oriented education with growing, diverse campuses located in Patchogue and Brooklyn, New York, as well as online. Thank you for joining us. In this program, we will be discussing the lifelong connection the college enjoys with its alumni, building connections among this community and current students, and the importance of giving back. In 1916, we opened our doors to 12 students. Over a century later, we have a network of more than 44,000 alumni. What is most unique about this network of alumni is its strong connection to this college. We're grateful for their continued support and strive to reinforce those connections with every new graduating class each year. To speak more about this is Paula Melin, Director of Alumni Engagement, and Margaret Broda, a member of SJC's Class of 2004 and President of SJC Brooklyn's Alumni Board. Welcome to both of you. I'm so happy to see you today to talk about this wonderful issue. Some people say that you can judge a college by the number of alumni and the participation of alumni in the various activities around the college. That excitement that alumni feel for their college is an important part of who we are as a college. So I'm delighted to be able to talk to both of you today. Paulina, what do you think is the greatest benefit of the alumni connections we have?
Well, I think alumni are the best. They've been here. They've had the experience of St. Joe's, and the education and experiences that they've had, the professors that they've encountered, are what really keep them connected to the college today. They're a fantastic resource, especially for the students, and really do contribute to the success of the students.
And in your time dealing with them, are there some commonalities of things that they say about the college that draws them back to the college as alums?
Absolutely. I think especially feeling like an individual, not just a number in the classes, is something that really resonates across the entire Alumni Association and all the alumni that stay connected. The sense of community that they feel here, and even just the way that they're able to stay connected and contribute to current programming now. We have several programs that connect both students and alumni, and they really do enjoy those connections with the students.
And we have a pretty interesting group of alumni, right? Because we have alums from before the 1970s, when this was an all-female college, and then alums after the 1970s who are part of a co-educational institution. What is that like for you as alumni director?
It keeps me on my toes, but keep things really interesting as well. I think there's such a richness to the alumni who were here when it was an all-women's college. They have such a sense of pride in the institution and really do come together when it comes to reunions or contributing towards their scholarship funds. It is interesting to try to create programming for those that came after the Women's College and, of course, for more recent alumni. So it does create a very diverse set of programs.
And, of course, the graduates of the college when it was an all-women's college were also primarily educated by the Sisters of St. Joseph. And we still have some sisters that are involved in our alumni activities, right?
Yes, absolutely. Actually, for one of the most recent reunions, we had Sister Mary Florence attend, and she was celebrating her 75th anniversary from graduating from the institution. All the alumni really enjoy connecting with them. They have fantastic memories of them, in the classrooms across the campus. Anytime I connect with them, they ask, how are they doing? What are they doing now? Will we see them soon?
I think that those who are watching today might not realize that when a student comes to St. Joseph's College, that student not only gets a great degree, they get a great education, but they become a part of a network of very successful alums throughout this entire region. We have a number of alums who are in high positions of authority who have done incredible work. We have judges, doctors, people that run corporations. And so when a student comes to St. Joseph's, that network of alums is a really important part of their future. They may not realize that as a 17-year-old when they're first applying. I mean, Margaret, what was that like for you? When you were applying here, were you expecting to have this kind of connection with the alums?
When I first applied to St. Joe's, it was at the behest of the nun at my local parish, who is also an alumna of the college. And she knew the type of person that I was, and she told my mother, you really should have Margaret apply to St. Joe's. I think it's an opportunity for her to flourish, and it's the type of community she would do really well in. I didn't really know a lot about it other than that. At the time, I went to a very large public high school. I thought CUNY was on my horizons, and I applied because of all of my extracurricular activities and my academics at the time. I was invited to the scholarship reception. I came to the scholarship reception, and it was just very eye-opening to me. I thought it was wonderful how small and the sense of community that I was drawn into, and that was a large factor in me attending St. Joe's.
And I think that's still a strength for us. You know, we still have the average class size here in Brooklyn is 12 to 15. On our Long Island campus, it's very similar. And so we've maintained that very personal approach to education. And I think that's one of the reasons why our alums continue to be so connected to us, is that they felt connected to the school while they were here. But I think you put your finger on a really important point today for young people. So for parents and grandparents who are watching, if you're thinking about where you want your child to go to school, you want to go to a place where you can flourish. That's the word you used. And I think that St. Joe's allows the student to flourish because of that personal atmosphere that's created. But it's not just created in the classroom, it's throughout the campus. What were some of the things that happened for you, Margaret, while you were here that were important later on as you developed?
When I was at St. Joe's, I had the opportunity to be on 3 sports teams. I was in student government all 4 years that I was here. I did chapel players, dance company, amongst other things. There was a lot of student life programming that I was able to attend, both on and off campus, Broadway shows, travel to San Diego, up and down the East Coast with sports teams. It was a sense of community. It was a sense of pride. We represented the college. We represented ourselves. I had an opportunity to do a lot of things that I don't think I would have been able to do if I attended a CUNY college or a SUNY college.
And that's, of course, another advantage for students, is that you might go to one of these huge colleges that has some incredible reputation, but the reality is, as a student, you're very far away from actually participating in most of those activities. It's interesting in the sciences here, for example, in Brooklyn, our first-year students are allowed to work in the laboratories right away, where at many schools they don't even get into the lab until they're a sophomore or junior. So that's just one example, but there are many examples where the students have that up close and personal contact with their professors and with the material that they're studying that they would never get at another school. So you mentioned some things outside of the class. You mentioned your athletic activities. What did you, when you look back on those, what did you learn from all of that?
Teamwork, balance. We were, expected to do our 12 to 15 to 18 credits. We were all student athletes and scholars. On the teams that I was on, the average GPA was over a 3.4. We had to balance both our academia and our commitment to the team. It was practicing. It was the biggest draw was the sense of community. We were a team within the college, and we had the opportunity to represent the college and see other students, see other places around the country. I said we traveled to San Diego for a basketball tournament with a quick layover in Tijuana for the day. So just being exposed to things and opportunities that we wouldn't have necessarily had elsewhere.
You talk there a little bit about time management skills, and of course that's a really critical skill for young people. It can make or break young people who are students here at St. Joseph's, and we talk a lot about that. And the athletes, interestingly enough, usually have a very disciplined kind of schedule, and so they have a bit of an advantage. And then you took those skills and those approaches into your professional and personal life when you graduated.
Yes,
right?
we learned a lot about scheduling, managing our deadlines and our time frames very closely, so that we didn't lose on one way or the other, right? We didn't lose on the court or on the field. We also didn't lose the main reason we were here. The main reason we were here was to get a solid education and to put ourselves in a position to be successful in the world. And in doing so, we were able to learn skills in both settings, the classroom and on the field, and transport those into our personal and professional lives. And
even now, I know our athletic teams, the students on our teams have some of the highest GPAs in our athletic conference, very fine scholar athletes, and they're here primarily to get an education, but also to enjoy the opportunity to play in sports, again, where at a larger school they might not even get that opportunity. Margaret, you had a successful career here as a student. You went out into the world. You were very successful professionally and personally. What was it that drew you back to St. Joseph's to participate and become an important part of the alumni experience here?
I had a wonderful experience here as an undergraduate, and I think a lot of that was thanks to the alumni that came before me. They gave of their time and their money, and I felt that because of the success that I've experienced in my life, it was my obligation to pay that forward to the next generation of students that are coming through the college. They deserve the same opportunities and experiences that I had in my undergraduate time. I think it's made me the person that I am today, and I feel that it's only right that I afford those students these same opportunities.
And I think you've touched on a really important point, and that is it's a way to give back to the school, not just in terms of finances, but also in terms of your activities, your willingness to engage, to become a part of the campus life. And I know that you've participated in a number of events here, and of course many virtual events during the course of the pandemic. And I think that connection that you created with the students was really fantastic. So I can't tell you how much we all appreciate the work of the Alumni Association of Brooklyn and all the work you've done. We have to take a quick break, but still to come, more about the alumni experience at St. Joseph's College.
Are you ready?
To work together and stand out.
Ready?
To find solutions that push us forward.
Ready.
To take on today's challenges and take charge of our future. With a world-class education at St. Joseph's College in Brooklyn, you will be ready. Attend an upcoming event to find out how. For scheduling information, visit sjcny.edu/BK events.
Are you ready?
St. Joseph's College.
Ready.
Set.
Joe's.
Are you ready?
To work together and stand out.
Ready.
To find solutions that push us forward.
Ready?
To take on today's challenges and take charge of our future. With a world-class education at St. Joseph's College in Patchogue, you will be ready. Attend an upcoming event to find out how. For scheduling information, visit sjcny.edu/LI events.
Are you ready?
St. Joseph's College.
Ready? Set.
Joe's.
Welcome back to St. Joseph's College, Living Our Mission. We were discussing the alumni experience at St. Joseph's College. Margaret, as an alumna of the college, what do you see as the future of the college and its relationship with our alumni?
I think the college has a strong sense of traditions and community, and I think that the college should continue to bridge the past, present, and future and keep the network of alumni and students as robust as it has been. I think that it's really important for us to continue those traditions and community.
And tradition is, of course, a really important part of who we are. I mean, we say we're a school in the Catholic tradition, which of course we are. We have a long tradition going back to the 17th century of how we approach education through the Sisters of St. Joseph, who were influenced themselves by the Jesuit approach to education. And so we've had that concept of the whole person, focusing on the whole student, has been an important part of who we are. And in a way, if you think about the institution as a person, the whole institution is not just the students that are there, but also the students that have graduated and what they have to bring back. As you look into the future in terms of your relationship with the college and other alums, what are some of the things that you think that the alums can do for the current students in terms of assisting them in understanding what their education is about?
I think it's important for the alumni community to stay involved by attending events and coming back to the college to see how it has evolved since we have been in attendance, as it needs to. The college needs to be a living, breathing institution, and it has to grow as the times change. I think it's important for us to offer our services to the students. We are in many different fields, and as you've said before, we have professionals that have achieved great successes in their respective fields, and I think it's important for the students to feel they have somebody to help guide them and provide them with mentorships, internships, and keep them tight to the college.
And I think it's true that the college's mission is actually unchanged. I mean, we started out as a school that was created to help provide an education in those days to women who otherwise wouldn't get an education to go on to successful careers, primarily teaching, but many other professions. And then through those first decades, many of those young ladies went on to become school principals, school superintendents, but also, again, lawyers, doctors, and judges. And all of that success was related to that mission of providing an education to students who otherwise might not be able to get it because of their finances or their family situation. And we strive to give as much financial aid as possible to students. And one of the important aspects of the Alumni Association is to provide us with financing for students, for example, for projects like scholarships and other types of aid to students. And I know you've been involved in those kinds of activities as well. When you think about alumni events that you're involved in here on campus, are there some that stick out to you as being especially fun or especially enjoyable to you?
I think they're all fun and enjoyable in different ways. I think that Paulina and her team have done a great job of trying to hit different parts of people's lives. There are things that motivate people differently. There are events that draw people in. I think that we have alumni who graduated a significant time ago, and their personal and professional constraints are different than people who just recently graduated, recently married, young children. And I think that the Alumni Office has done a great job of having a robust programming to draw in all of those people who have time on their hands, people who have very, very busy schedules. I think that there's fun, exciting programming available that creates a fun environment for alumni to reminisce and get back together and relive our glory days.
Well, and I think one of the real crisis today for people is a sense of feeling alienated, especially because of the pandemic, but even before the pandemic, of not feeling connected to the world. And so as an alum of St. Joseph's, you have that opportunity to really connect with the college and be a part of the college and continue that connection and really grow in it. And so that stress of continuing to help the student goes for decades, long after the students leave. We had a wonderful class reunion a few weeks ago, and it was a 50th reunion of a class, and it was especially powerful because one of the sisters, Sister Mary Florence Burns, was there. I think she's in her 90s now, and the women that were celebrating their graduation 50 years ago still were so attached to her because she had been their teacher. I mean, Paulina, what was that like? I mean, you were able to witness some of that.
Oh, it was really beautiful to see, and especially to work with the reunion committee leading up to the event. They were so thrilled that Sister Mary Florence was actually going to be participating, that they were actually going to be able to see her, interact with her. And you could see even when we started a Mass, we actually led off the event with a Mass. Everybody just kind of flocked over to Sister Mary Florence to greet her and just really, enjoy the connections that they were having with her.
And I think for Sister Mary Florence, and she would represent all professors. All professors are thrilled when they see their students come back and their students were successful. I've had many students over the years come back at various events I've been at, and I see them no longer as students in my classroom, but now they've gone out and they're parents and they have families, they run businesses. And it's just delightful to maintain that connection. And it's also an important part of the morale of our faculty to reconnect with the students and see that, hey, I really did something great with Margaret. I did something really great with Paulina. I was able to really have an impact on their lives. So it's a two-way benefit. It's not just a benefit for the alums, but it's a big benefit for the faculty to reconnect. And so at many of the events, we have faculty present and involved in the various celebrations. So Paulina, if we think about giving back to the college, why do you think it's so important for alumni to participate in these activities and give back to the college?
Well, I think one of the most important things that alumni can do is to support their alma mater and make it stronger and better for all the classes that are coming after them. They've been there themselves, they've experienced it, they see how it can improve, how it can grow, how it can thrive. And maintaining that connection and maintaining that support really does make the institution much stronger and really impact that student success.
And I've experienced this firsthand with the Alumni Association on both of our campuses, where I've gone to them and spoken about some ideas for the future, and I've gotten a lot of great input from them about the directions that we might want to go in as a school, or the needs of the current students as opposed to the students of 20 or 30 years ago. And so the alumni association on both campuses serve as a kind of advisory group to me as president in giving me some advice on how can we move forward but still stay true to our traditions as a school. I think one of the most difficult things for an alumni of an institution is to watch that institution change or transform into something that they no longer recognize. I think a lot of our viewing audience may have had that experience with the schools that they attended. So one of my personal dreams is that that doesn't happen at St. Joseph's, that a graduate of St. Joseph's from 1916 or a graduate from 1960 or a graduate from 2006 is still going to have that sense of connection to the school and is still going to be able to feel at home here. Now, we have so many different projects and activities for our alums. One of the wonderful things they did, the Alumni Association in Brooklyn, is, as many in the audience know, I'm a pianist, and we had a real need for some new pianos at our college, and the Alumni Association of Brooklyn actually helped to pay for one of the new instruments here at the college, which is used by me, but it's also, of course, used by the students. But that's just one example. What are some of the things and activities that the alums have been involved in?
Well, they do contribute to the development of a lot of our programming with an eye of keeping many of those traditions, with evolving them and making sure that we're bringing in younger alumni into the fold as well. So that's a really fantastic way that they're able to contribute. They do dedicate a lot of their time, and especially our Long Island and Brooklyn alumni boards really do spend so much of their time thinking about how to contribute to the alumni experience, to the student experience in terms of programming. New programming is coming from them every day, every time that we meet. Those new ideas that are coming forward, we've been able to create a conversation series between them and some of the students to really help guide them and have those platforms to answer all the questions that students might have about going into different industries.
And also, of course, there have been many opportunities for them to give back to the college through scholarship programs and other types of activities for the students. And I know that we have every year a wonderful program where alums who have been given to the college are able to meet actually with some of the students that the scholarships have been delivered to.
Yes, absolutely. And several of the reunion classes have actually created their own scholarships that they really contribute to on a yearly basis. They hear from a lot of the students who are actually taking advantage of those scholarships, how they're growing, how their educational experience is thriving. But they do contribute in so many different ways and really enjoy doing so.
Mm-hmm. Well, I can't thank both of you enough for being with me today to talk a little bit about this wonderful area of alumni development and alumni connections. For me as president, there's nothing more important than maintaining that sense of connection between the graduates of the college, the current students of the college, the faculty and the staff, and the sense of the larger community, because that's what really St. Joseph's is all about, is a sense of community, a sense of family. Thank you, Paulina and Margaret, for joining me today, and thank you for watching St. Joseph's College, Living Our Mission. Our alumni community and the work we do together is so important for the future generations of St. Joseph's students. To our alumni who are watching this, there are so many new and exciting things happening, and we would love for you to come back and see us again very soon. Thank you for watching.